Good morning, students. In this video we are going to continue with the last part of the chapter that we are doing, Chief Seattle's speech. And here I have explained you a lot of things about Chief Seattle's speech, whatever he has said, how the people of his tribe are very few, and it is so great and good of the white chief or the big chief that he has considered about the goodwill and about his people and given him some reserved land, whereas he has given the proposal to give maximum land to the white. And he says we don't even require that extensive land, but yes, he does say that what all things are there which makes this white chief to be his people's father also. But at the same time, while mentioning all those things, he does give the difference between his people and the white people. That means the red people and the white people. He says your God is different and he cannot be our God, because if he has to be our God, he will have to help us. And in terms of helping us, he will have to save us from our enemies, and our enemies were basically the white people. So that means your God will have to turn against you. Only then he will be able to help us. And then he says your God came down to give you all the details of what you have to follow, the points. He has mentioned them on iron with his iron finger on stone tablets. But for us, the discipline and guidelines for us are the tradition that we follow, and they are given to us by our spirits, great spirits of the ancient ancestors. And these are the guidelines which we follow in our day-to-day life, and that is why we are living our guidelines. We don't have to write them anywhere, they are written on our heart. Then next he gives the difference in terms of the dead bodies or the dead people. He says your dead are basically dying and they are leaving through the portal of the tomb to a totally different world beyond the stars, and you yourself don't rever them, you don't have any reverence for them. You, wherever your dead people are buried, you leave those lands and you are coming all the way to our land. Whereas for us, our dead people are not dead, they are just changing the realm. From a physical realm they have gone to the spiritual realm, and they are always connected to this land. And in the solemn evening hours, in the silent evening hours, they come to cherish or to enjoy their time on this land, at the same time even giving guidance to their generations, so that they can understand, they can be consoled, they could be comforted, and they could be guided again and again for various things. Lastly, he says that it is basically our decay is all because of our destruction, our coming to an end of our tribe is all because of our fault. Our young people were not very you can say they were impulsive and they kept on fighting, and our old people could not control them. But now it is that whatever white chief is saying is like the words coming to us, so that we can get some direction in this darkness where we have no bright future prospects. And it is, he says that very few of our days are left, and after that we will be gone. But even in those days, wherever we pass there, those days, it does not matter, it hardly matters. So we must be following whatever the proposal white chief has given us. It is like a wounded doe, while he is not able to run any further, keeps on waiting for the hunter to come, find it and kill it. In the similar way, we are also not able to run any further, and now we are just going to wait for our doom to come and finally bring the end to our tribe. And the day will come when just after few days, few nights and few years, he says few more moons and few more winters, so that is few more nights and few more seasons, and after that even the last person of our tribe would be dying, and then there will be no one to cry even on the graves of all our people, and we will be soon forgotten. Those people who once flourished on this land and they were in huge multitudes, they will be all gone. But at last he says, you say we are brothers, but yes, that is the law of nature, and I will not regret and I will not mourn and cry over my people's sudden demise or coming to an end of my tribe, because tribes come after the other. One goes and the other comes. It is just like the waves of the ocean. When one comes and recedes, the other one comes and takes its place. So in the similar manner, we are going to come to, our tribe is going to get its future as in the doom, in the destruction. We are going to come to an end, but at that time you are prospering. But soon there will be time when you will also decay, you will also be destroyed. Your tribe will also come to an end, because that is the law of the nature. The day when it happens, then we will be able to say that yes, we are brothers, because ultimately your tribe and our tribe has faced the same future. Even our tribe flourished and thrived nicely, and then came down, declined, and finally came to its end. Similarly, your tribe will also be the same, with the same future, that it came, thrived, and had a successful life over here, and then finally it came to its decline, and one day it will also come to its end. Then we will see and we will say that yes, we are brothers having the similar future. Now here I am reading for you after this from page number 45 in my book. It is the last paragraph on this page. It says, "We will ponder your proposition, and when we decide, we will let you know." We will think about your proposal of the white chief, and then after thinking over it, we will decide, and then we will let you know what we have taken the decision. But should we accept it? I here and now make this condition that we will not be denied the privilege, without molestation, of visiting at any time the tombs of our ancestors, friends, and children. He says, but your proposal that you have given us, we might accept it, and we will let you know. But before that, let me ask you here right now, that should we accept it? It is basically he's laying a condition also, what he wants. Should we accept it? Yes. I here and now want to make this condition that after we leave this land and go to the land which is reserved for us, you will not stop us, our people, from coming to these lands, because on this land there are the burial grounds of our ancestors, and we would always like to come and pay tribute and homage to all those people of our ancestors, of our friends and children, all their graves. We would like to come and visit them every now and then, and without any restrictions, without any other conditions. I do want you to allow us to come in there and not restrict us or put on certain conditions on us to restrict us. So without any molestation means without putting any conditions, anything, any boundaries. You will freely let us come and pay homage to the burial grounds of our ancestors, children, and friends. Every part of this soil is sacred in the estimation of my people. That means for the people of my tribe, for the Red Indians, each and every part of this land is very, very important and sacred. Every part, every hillside, every valley, every plain and grove has been hallowed by some sad or happy event in days long vanished. So every part of this particular land, whether it's hill, whether it's your hillside, valley, or plain, they have all been witnessed to the happy and sad events of the Red Indians, of our people, of our tribe, and they have seen the people thriving over there, doing certain things, achieving certain things, various things that had happened with them. They are the silent witness to all such events. Even the rocks, which seem to be dumb and dead as they swelter in the sun along with silent shore, thrill with memories of stirring events connected with the lives of my people. So here he says, for you these stones might be dumb and just sweltering in the sun, but for us, even these stones are those particular witnesses which hold the memories of so many different events of our people which have taken place, the events that have taken place. And these stones, these land areas and forests and things, they are the ones who are the silent witness. They have witnessed our people living over there, thriving here, experiencing different things, having different events happening in their lives. So they are silent witness to all those things. They are the ones who share those memories along with us or along with our tribe. And the very dust upon which you now stand responds more lovingly to their footsteps than yours. That means he is talking to the white people, that you stand on this soil, you do not feel any connection to this land, any connection to any relation to the soil over here. But for us, this soil is compassionate, and it responds more lovingly to our people than it responds to your people. When our people walk, their footsteps are come on this land, when they keep their footsteps on this land, it is basically the land responds with more empathy, sympathy, as well as emotion and love, because this soil has got the blood of our ancestors in it, and that is why it responds to us lovingly, more lovingly to their footstep than yours, because it is rich with the blood of our ancestors, and our bare feet are conscious of the sympathetic touch. This land responds to us more sympathetically, and when we walk on this barefoot, our footsteps or our feet can understand or realize that soothingness, soothing feeling, that soothingness that this land gives to us, because this land shows compassion to us, connection to us, and our feet or we are basically able to feel that compassion and love. Our departed braves, fond mothers, glad, happy-hearted maidens, and even the little children who lived here and rejoiced here for a brief season, will love those somber solitudes, and at eventide the great shadowy returning spirits. Now here he says, most of our brave people, those who died fighting, and then the fond mothers who loved their children a lot, or the glad and happy young women who were not married, the maidens, even the young children who lived here, and they did live here for a small period of time, but they were connected to this land. And so in the somber solitudes, when everything seems to be all silent and quiet, in those hours at eventide, they will greet these shadowy returning spirits. This area will see all of them coming over here in the form of the spiritual realm, because our people are so connected to this land that every now and then they will be returning here, if not in the physical form but in the spiritual form. And when the last red man shall have perished, and the memory of my tribe shall have become a myth among the white men, these shores will swarm with the invisible dead of my tribe. So here he says, when all the red people had died, and they will be soon forgotten by the white people, because none of the red people will live over here. So at that time also our people will come over here and in huge number, and they will fill the shores over here with the invisible dead of my people, spirits of my people, or spirits of the red people, those who have died, and they will be here in all different parts everywhere. So the dead or the physical being of the red people will come and fill up all the places, all the areas of this land. And when your children's children, that is the white people's children, and their children, that means their coming generations, think themselves alone in the field, the store, the shop, upon the highway, or in the silence of the pathless woods, they will not be alone. That means your future generations, when the red people had been gone, long gone and forgotten, at that time when your generations and generations after that would be sitting over here in the fields, in the store, in the shop, in the highway, they will feel that they are all alone, they are lonely. But even at that time, they will be surrounded by our people. They will be the invisible spirits of the red people. Even in the pathless woods, means even in those areas, if they go to the woods, means jungles, to the forest, where they think there are no proper way or no particular path to go there, and they have no one over there, even there also they will not know that our people will be there in the spiritual form surrounding them. In huge crowds they will be there. They will not be alone. In all the earth there is no place dedicated to solitude. They will not be alone, and in the entire world there is no place where they would be calling it as solitude or loneliness, because our people will be everywhere. At night, when the streets of your cities and villages are silent and you think them deserted, they will throng with the returning hosts that once filled them and still love this beautiful land. Even at night time, when you'll see the streets all empty, deserted, no one there, you might think there's nobody, but they will be having a huge multitude of my people in the spiritual form, coming and coming back. The returning hosts means who once lived in this land, who belonged to this land, and they still love this beautiful land. They will be coming in the evening hours or in the night or quiet hours and filling up this land in huge multitudes. So our people will always be here. The white man will never be alone. You will think that you've got rid of us, you've got us out of this land, you have made us all, entire tribe come to an end. But no, you will never be alone. We will always be there in huge number, and we will be in the spiritual form. You might not be able to see us, but we will always be there watching you. We will always be there around you, surrounding you and your future generations. Let him be just and deal kindly with my people, for the dead are not powerless. He says, let the white chief, the white people, be kind and just, or have full justice with my people, because the dead are not powerless. We believe that our dead people are always there, and they are helping us, guiding us in everything that we do. So the dead are not powerless. And then suddenly he is reminded, and he corrects himself, and he says, dead, did I say? There is no death, only a change of worlds. That means, he says, for us, for you there might be death and gone forever, but for us there is nothing as death. We are not having dead people, rather we just have the change of the worlds. From the physical world we go to the spiritual world. We have the change of the realms, and for us it is just a change of the worlds, and that is why we do not die. We will be all coming back to the same land in the spiritual form, like our ancestors' spirits. They come and guide us. Similarly, we will be always over here. If there will be no future generation of ours to guide, we will always be there, thriving and enjoying ourselves, even while the white people will be here. So that is how he gives his description of how white people might feel happy that they've conquered the entire land, they have covered all the land, and they have brought the red people to their end, the entire tribe. But it is not the condition like that as it seems to be, because white people might seem to have red people might seem to have died and might have gone from that land. But he says, for us death is nothing but the change of the world, and we will always be coming back to this land. If not in the physical form, obviously, then we will be back in the spiritual form. You will not notice us, but we will always be around you, and this land will always be ours. You might feel that you've taken it from us, but by no means you will be able to take it from us. So this land will always belong to us. And this is how Chief Seattle's gives the speech. Although he is trying to show and wants happy, you can say, relations between the white and the red people, but he does lament his problems. He does give them the entire description of what he feels the difference and what white people have done with them. Now today they are weak and red people are weak, and they cannot fight back, they cannot do anything. But at least he can tell the white people that the land will always belong to them, and nobody can take this land from the red people. It will always be the land of red people. They will always be here, not in the spiritual form, physical form, but even in the spiritual form. They will always be thriving over there. They'll throng the streets and entire area, even those areas which might seem difficult to go and without any path. Even those areas will be all crowded by the spirits of the red people. So that is how they will never be able to remove. They might remove red people from the land, but that land will never be empty of red people, because they'll always be there in the spiritual form. So I hope you've got the idea of this speech, Chief Seattle's speech. Though he is helpless, but he does give the proper response to his opposition, the white people, and in a very subtle manner, because he does not want any more war or any more difficult situations between him and the white people. So with this, we come to the end of the story, the Chief Seattle speech. I'm saying it's story, but it is not a story. It is basically the speech, and all the contents of the speech of the Chief Seattle are very important. please go through this story, read it. I have read it for you, but you also read it so that you understand it in a better way. And for understanding the meaning of the text, you can go through the explanation which I have given you. So accordingly, you will require 3 videos obviously to go through the entire explanation of this story. So I hope that you have understood it. Next, the question answers and things we'll be doing later. We'll move on to the next story and then we'll finish it off, so that before we start Shakespeare, we are done with all story and poem. But right now we will be covering after this the next story, and then later onwards we'll be doing the question answers. I'll let you know what you have to do in your fair copies. So with this, we come to the end of the session. Have a great day. Thank you.